Everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how you can change the width, height as well as the aspect ratio of a live camera preview and image capture in React Native's new architecture for Android using CameraX and Media 3 effect. So let's get started. So first, few things to clear out. I am using React Native version 80, which is the latest at the time of me recording this video. Also, all the code related to changing the width, height, aspect ratio and displaying the live camera preview, capturing the image has been done via native code. I'm not using any third-party library for this. So let's get started. So first you will have to go to this particular documentation over here. Then you need to run this particular command. So this will create a project for you, but like I said, you can change this demo to your own project name, and we are only doing this for Android, so we don't require CocoaPods installed for this. So instead of demo, I have given the project name as test app. You can give it whatever you feel like. I'll just minimize this. So here is my React Native project. Then we need to create the specs folder as well as the web view folder, but we are not creating the web view folder because this documentation is for web view. In our case we have it for camera, so I will be naming it as my camera. You can give it whatever name you feel like, but do remember this name, as that name will be used in lot other places as well. So if you are doing this for the very first time, it's better you follow what I'm doing. So don't run this command, we'll create these folders manually. So you just need to create a folder called specs in the root of your React Native project. Okay, then go to Android, app, src, main, java, com, and here I have created another folder called my camera. Like I said, you can create and give any name, but if you are doing it for first time, better follow what I'm doing. Then inside the specs folder we need to create a TypeScript file, but the name of our TypeScript file in our case, it will be my camera native component.ts. Okay, native component is very important because with the help of this only our code generation will know that our command will know that it needs to do code generation for this particular file. So just to show it to you, inside the specs folder I have created this particular file, my camera native component.ts, and here I have just copy pasted all this code. So if here you can see I have refactored a couple of things. So firstly, I don't require the source URL because we are not passing any prompt, and instead of on script loaded, I have named it as on image taken. That's the only change which I have done. And here we have this result string, as you can see over here, and here is our custom my camera. So instead of web view, I have named it as custom my camera. Okay, now we need I'll just open my terminal as well because we need to run few commands. So I will just cd to that particular folder, just cd to my test app over here. Okay, and let's come back to the documentation again, and here you can see we need to, inside our package.json file, we need to copy paste this particular bit of code. So just go to package.json and here just copy paste this code, but again here you need to write my camera. This should be custom my camera and this should be rct my camera. Okay, then let's scroll down and we need to run a command called npm install because we have changed the package.json file. This is not specified in the documentation, but it's good practice to run npm install. Next you need to run this command, so I'll just copy this. Now this will do actual code generation for us. Now I have previously ran this command, so it was pretty quick for me, as you can see, but in your case it might take a bit of time, so just be patient. Once that is done, we need to create this particular file, but here the name for our file, it will be react my camera. Now we can't really copy paste code from this particular file because we need to write the actual implementation ourselves, right? So it doesn't make sense to copy code from this file. So what we need to do is, first we need to do some setup, write some setup code. So first you need to go to this build.gradle, and here you need to add this camera core, camera 2, camera lifecycle, camera view, then Android X Media 3 effect, which is still in alpha at the time of me recording this video, as well as Android X Media 3 effect. Okay, if this library does become stable by the time you guys watch the video, make sure you use the stable version. Then you need to go to Android manifest.xml. Here you need to add uses feature of Android hardware camera permission, as well as write external storage permission. Once that is done, let's go to my camera. Here I have created this file called react my camera. So firstly, this should be your own package name, so the my camera in my case. Now there are a lot of imports, so feel free to pause the video and just copy all these imports. Then here we have this theme react context, then here we have this camera as well, and here we have our preview view, here is our image capture. Then we have a capture button as well. Then here is our viewfinder, which is the camera preview. Then here is our camera executor service. Here is our process camera provider. Here is our back facing lens. Here we get hold of our current activity. Then here we set the layout params to our linear to our viewfinder, sorry. Then here we call a method. I'll come back to this method in a bit. Then here we add our viewfinder to our parent view. Then here we have this capture button for we set the text background color, text color as well as alpha. Then here we set the layout params to our button as well. Then we add this capture button to our parent view, and then we add a click listener as well, in which we call take photo. Then here we override on attach to window. So if we have the camera permission, then we just do viewfinder.post setup camera. Then we have this on detach from window, where we do camera executor shutdown, and we unbind our camera provider. Now here, like I was telling you, this is the method which we are calling. Now this is boilerplate code which I have copied it from this particular URL over here. So if you go to this URL, you can understand why we need to do this, because this is an open issue in React Native's repo since last 8 years, and still they have not fixed it. If we don't write this code, you won't be able to see your live camera preview. Instead you just see a black screen. That's why we need to do this. Then here inside setup camera, we get hold of our process camera provider. We add a listener to it, and then we use this bind camera use case. Here we get the width and height as well, and here we pass the display rotation as well. Here we pass the camera provider. Here we initialize our camera selector. Here is our aspect ratio strategy. Here is our resolution selector. Here we initialize our preview view. Here we initialize our image capture. Then this is our use case group builder, where we add preview use case as well as image capture use case. Then here is our media 3 effect as well. Now there are different ways to do things, so this entire thing I have commented out. So at a given point of time, you should only you should only run either one of this. For now I am running this. Okay, so first, in this first use case, I'll just explain you. Here we are only changing the height. So if you only want to change the height, you can just write this line of code, and this entire thing you can delete it. Okay, now what this particular bit of code does is it just change the aspect ratio. So if you only want to do that, then you can remove this first line as well as this particular line of code. And the last thing which I have uncommented is where we are changing the width and height. So you can play around with these values if you want to, and if you are using this, then you can completely delete this particular part as well. Then we add that media effect to our use case group builder. We unbind our camera provider. We get access to our camera, assign it to this variable, and then we initialize our surface provider as well. Here we call take photo, where we get hold of our simple date format. Then we use content values.apply, passing the display name, mime type, and if Android version greater than P, we also set the relative path. Then here we do image capture.output file option by passing in the builder as well. Then here we do image capture.take picture, passing in the output options, and here we override on image saved. So here we get the URI of the saved image, and this is the method which is used to send this data back from native Android side to React Native side. And here we unbind our camera provider. This is just a helpful method just to check whether we have the camera permission or not. And here we have variable called tag, another variable called file name format. Now this is called this is a code which we need to write for sending data back from native Android side to React Native side. Now this I have copied it from the documentation. So if I just scroll down here, you can see, but you need to change it according to our own TypeScript file. Okay, so here inside of on script loaded, I have written it as on image taken. So we can't just blindly copy paste it. You will have to make few changes. So you can just copy paste the code which I have written, provided you have written the same TypeScript file which I have written. Okay, so yeah, that's all there is to it. Then if you see, we need to write this on this manager class. So that's what I have done over here. Now this we can copy paste to the most extent. So here I have created React My Camera Manager. Here you can see this is the package name, and wherever they have written web view, we need to replace it with My Camera. So that's all we are doing over here. So that's all we have done. Now here, if you see, we have removed this particular bit of code. We don't want this bit of code. Okay, so that's what I have removed. And here we just call this get exported custom public event type, right? So this I have changed it to on image taken everywhere, because we can't directly copy paste because our event name is different. All right, then we need to create this package class as well. Now here we can copy paste most of the code. So that's what I have done. So I have just copy pasted again our package name, and everywhere you see web view, we have replaced it with my camera. So that's what we have done over here. That's all there is to it. Okay, next let's just scroll down, and here you can see we need to import it as well. So I'll just you need to go to your test tab, go to main application.kt, and here we just have to add this import, and here we need to add this particular line of code as well. Okay, so again I'll just scroll down. Now let's see how to use it. So to use it, you need to go to app.tsx. First you need to write all these imports. Okay, then here we have a state for image URL, one state for camera permission as well. Here I'm checking whether what version of Android the user is running, because on Android 10 and above we don't require the right external storage permission. So here I have defined a method. If platform is Android, depending on Android version we are requesting the appropriate permission, and here if whether the camera permission has been granted or not, we just set this particular variable to true. Okay, so that's what we are doing, and inside use effect we just call request camera and storage permission, and if image URL is not equal to empty, then we just display the image using the image component, and if image URL is equal to empty and we have the camera permission, then we display our camera preview, else we just display a text saying camera permission not granted, and these are the styles for it. Now let me quickly show you the output as well. Before that, let me quickly open this. So the first output which I will show you is for this particular lines of code. Okay, these all are commented out. So I'll just open this. So I think this is the one. Let me play it. Yeah, so here we are giving camera permission, and now here you can see, because the width and height is 480 by 800, this is how it looks like, even though we have provided the full entire width and height of the screen. Okay, now the second output is for this one. So I have commented out this one, so you need to comment this out or delete this line of code and just uncomment out this one. Okay, and here you can see this is the code where we are changing the aspect ratio to 16 by 9. So hopefully you got it, and let me show you this third output as well for 480 output. Let me just show it to you. So here is the last output. So there is not much difference in the like no difference as such, because we were only changing the height and the width remain the same, that's why. So hopefully you got the point. Yeah, that's all there is. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching.